So one of the things that I recommend my clients to do, and I actually help them get that together, is you should send your recommender, your resume, and this works also for not only faculty, but also your supervisor if you're working actually. Send them a copy of your resume, but also send them a copy of bullet points of your greatest achievements that are while working with them while in their class. For instance, you work in this project that made an A with these other teams, and then you turn this in, and then he commented that that project's one of the best ones perhaps that he has ever seen. Maybe you had these other tests and you did really well at. Maybe you work on this other research, so that could be for professors, or it could be for in the professional setting, also in projects that you worked on that you've done really well. Tell them about that in those bullet points, okay? So that way they will have that information to tell that in the letters. They're still going to be writing the letters, but then you're giving them the information that is useful for them for the writing. Also, you might want to find out what the schools ask in terms of the questions. Some schools have specific questions they want the recommenders to answer. And so you can draft your bullet points to answer those questions. For instance, for MBA programs, a lot of the schools ask how your performance has compared to the rest of your peers. So you want to highlight in your bullet points all those comparison points of where you stood out in comparison with your peers. Another one they ask is, tell me about a time when you gave a constructive feedback to the applicant, and how did that work? Well, you could always remind your recommender of a time when they told you, for instance, that you needed to delegate more, or when you needed to say no to other departments, for instance, maybe because you were, saying yes too many times, and how you took that feedback and what you did for it and how you improved, and how that, for instance, that situation is no longer an issue, for instance, So you could remind that, because chances are that your recommender, especially if you're asking a previous recommender, might have completely forgotten about the incident. And this is a good way to remind them, to make sure that what goes in the letter are things that the schools are really wanting to hear about. It also allows you to gain some control back, because remember, the recommendation letters are the one piece where you have no control over as applicants. So that is a part that a lot of my clients, pretty much all of them, get kind of very nervous about, because it is the one thing we worked on, the essays, the resume, everything, but the recommendation, how are they going to turn out? Doing these bullet points is a way of getting some control back of those letters, so that you kind of know what kind of information is being talked about you, so that they talk about the best examples about you, and also to make sure that the recommendation letters are really very strong and they're going to help you get admitted.